Hey everyone, it's your girl Jasmyne Canic, and this is the first of several videos that I plan on doing to encourage, inspire, help folks run for the LA County Central Committee. And you're probably saying, what the hell is the LA County Central Committee? Well, when people ask me that, I always say it's an intentionally confusing way to say LA County Democratic Party. And the reason I say that is because they could have just called it to be a delegate in the LA County Democratic Party. But instead it has to be County Central Committee, which is what you see on your ballot, which is what a lot of people skip over because they don't understand the importance of that position. And I will say this again. Some of y'all have heard me say this before, but I will say it again. If it's on your ballot, it's important, right? So never skip over something on your ballot. You should take the time and make a plan to vote. And part of your plan to vote means to educate your vote, right? To educate yourself. And so County Central Committee members play a very pivotal role in the direction and the leadership and the actions that local Democrats take, right? And you're like, oh, what actions could she be talking about? Well, who they endorse, who they don't endorse, who they give money to, who they knock on doors for, who they make phone calls for, what resolutions they put forth, what resolutions they actually support. Those are all things that only County Central Committee members, aka delegates in the LA County Democratic Party, get to work on, vote on, and make happen. And so what happens is every 4 years, 7 people are elected from each of LA County's 24 assembly districts. So there are 80 assembly districts in the entire state. 24 of them are in LA County. And 7 people are elected to make up the delegates in the LA County Democratic Party. I always tell people there are levels to this. There are levels to this, right? So you have the LA County Democratic Party at your local level. You have the California State Democratic Party at your state level, California Democratic Party. You have the Democratic National Committee at the national level. And all of the people who are members are delegates. And those are people who have a voice and a vote in the say of the Democratic Party. So I tell people all the time, if you're happy with the Democratic Party and you want to be a part of the leadership of the party and take a more active role, run. I tell people like myself who aren't so happy with the Democratic Party but are registered Democrats and you want to be a part of the change in the Democratic Party, run, right? So that's what I'll be doing over the next couple of weeks, is educating folks on how to run for office, how to run for this specific office. I myself ran 4 years ago. And won. Thank you to everybody who voted for me. This is my first time on a public ballot. And it was amazing to run for the first time and actually win. And you have to understand these seats, the reason why you don't know about them and you don't hear about them is because they like to keep the same people in these seats, okay? To do the bidding of special interest in certain folks, right? And for me, I think it's important that new people of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all races get involved in the Democratic Party. Our Democratic Party leadership should be reflective of the Democrats in LA County, right? So even though, look, let me go back. I ran 4 years ago and I won. And the reason why I ran, because I was upset. And there's nothing like anger to fuel you. Some of y'all will know exactly what I mean by that, right? When somebody tells you no, that just makes you like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to win and I'm going to succeed, right? So that sort of was my attitude. I ran because there was this Democratic donor named Ed Buck who gave over $1 million to Democratic candidates and causes, not only in California, but mostly in California and mostly in LA, but around the country. And he's hailed as this great activist, this great donor. who handed out money, but at the same time, he was pumping black gay men full of crystal meth. And 2 of those men died in his apartment a year and a half apart. So in 2017, Jamel Moore died in his apartment. And in 2019, Timothy Dean died in his apartment. And some time after that, it took some time, took a lot of fighting to get prosecutors and law enforcement to take the deaths of those 2 men seriously. But he was finally convicted and sent to prison for 30 years, which I'm very happy about. Anyways, but the reason why I ran for the party is because at the time, one of his BFFs was the chair of the county party and the state party, who has since himself been disgraced. But at the time, he was the chair of the party, and, very few Democrats in leadership, very few elected officials had anything to say about Ed Buck. And I was so upset because I watched these same people fall all over themselves trying to be the first to return Harvey Weinstein's money, but none of them wanted to return their money, their Ed Buck money. They made all kinds of excuses. Some of them just outright lied. But yeah, it was horrendous, and it was embarrassing to me as a Democrat. This is the party that gets the majority of Black people's votes. And yet and still, when you have your white, gay, Democratic donor who's had two Black men die in his apartment of crystal meth overdose, one nearly died, and no one had anything to say about it. So, and let me stop and pull over the car for a minute and give a shout out to Mayor Karen Bass. But back then she was Congresswoman Karen Bass, because she was the first elected official to return her money from Ed Buck, and she gave the money to Jamel Moore's family to go toward his final expenses. But she's one of a handful of people that did that. Everyone else, like I said, lied and had excuses and wanted to ignore the whole situation. And that's what made me run, because I was like, why do I belong to a party that is sitting up here being silent about this issue, has something to say about everybody and everything else, every other injustice in the world, but on this issue, didn't want to say anything, didn't want to give the money back, wished I would be quiet and go away. But I didn't. I ran and I won, and I plan on running again, and I plan on winning again, because it's very important to have people who are not part of the status quo, who are not part of the machinery of the Democratic Party, get involved with the Democratic Party. The only way the Democratic Party is going to change is if change makers get elected. And so even though I am running for office right now myself, I am proud to be helping other people also run for the same office I'm running for. I don't care if you are in the same district that I'm in, or you're in another one of the 24 assembly districts in LA County. It really doesn't matter to me, because at the end of the day, I'm just one person if I get elected. In order to have real change within the Democratic Party, we need to get many, many people elected all throughout LA County. So, like I said, this isn't, a cutthroat situation. This is a situation where 7 people get elected from each assembly district. So as long as I come in between 1 and 7, I'm all good. I could be number 3. I could be number 1. I could even be number 7. But as long as I come in there, then I have that seat for the next 4 years. And so does anyone else who is elected. And trust me when I tell you, the same usual suspects are going to run. And that's why we need new people to run as well. And, like I said, we need change in the Democratic Party. I feel like we need change in the Democratic Party. And what that change looks like is really up to the folks who take more of a leadership role and get elected and want to help guide and direct our party. I've never been part of the status quo the past 4 years that I've been in the party, and I'm pretty proud of that. I didn't go in there trying to make best friends with folks. But you know, I think I did a pretty good job. I have since moved out of the district that I originally ran in. So now I have to run again, and I'm running in the 55th Assembly District where I live now, and I'm really excited about that because I feel like a lot more people know me in my area. It's West Adams, Jefferson Park, Crenshaw, Lamert Park, South LA, Ladera Heights, View Park, Century City, Culver City, Mid City. Yeah, so this is my area and people know me. So I'm really excited to be running in this area, but I'm equally excited to be helping other people. So this was the first video of a couple that I plan on doing to explain how to run for the LA County Central Committee, aka LA County Democratic Party. Why you should run, how to run, what the job is, all of those things I plan to explain over a series of videos. You can cut to the chase if you don't want to wait for me and go to voteforjasmyne.com. Vote the number 4 Jasmyne, JASMYNE.com. I've even put that information up on my very own campaign page. Like, what candidate tells other people how to run for their seat on their campaign page? I do. Because at the end of the day, like I said, y'all need more than just me in the Democratic Party. Y'all need other folks elected too. And this is a perfect opportunity for someone who may not be ready to run for state senate or mayor or city council. This might be the perfect leadership position for you. So in the next video I'm going to tell you what the requirements are, what your deadlines are, so that you can figure out when you want to do this, and the sort of the parameters, the time that you have to make up your mind. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will definitely answer them. And I hope that you found this video very informative. And please feel free to share it, particularly with other people who are in LA County who you think might be interested in running and being on our primary ballot in March, not June, in March, because we vote in March now in California for our primary. It's an amazing experience to see your name on a ballot. I got to tell you, the first time I saw my name on the ballot when I ran 4 years ago, it kind of took my breath away a little bit. And I was just like, oh, this is amazing. But it like I said, I was so proud to have been elected. I'm hoping to get elected again, and I want to bring some folks with me. So hopefully you're one of them. Thanks, everybody. Bye.